Hello, space fans. This is the first video in a series of videos that I'm putting together to cover the tools such as Space Cockpit and Space Fauna that we have developed for the US Space Force for providing space domain awareness and to assist the warfighter. This first video, we're going to start off easy, and I'm going to introduce a Space Fauna dashboard called the GEO Neighborhood. And this is a dashboard that is useful for analyzing around a particular object at GEO to see who is close by and doing some initial analysis. In order to show you and take you through this dashboard, I'm going to be using UI, Space UI, and you can get access to this by going to ui.spacecockpit.space. I'll put the links in the description below. First thing you'll see here is a login asking for your UDL username and password. UDL stands for Unified Data Library. This is a data source that we pull a lot of our space domain awareness data from. If you do not have UDL credentials, then you can proceed as guest. For this particular video, you'll be able to proceed as guest and use this dashboard just using the public 18th space catalog data. So what you see here is the GEO neighborhood is selected as the first dashboard. And what it's asking me to do is to enter a satellite by NORAD ID. If you don't know the NORAD ID, you can use SpaceCop to look it up, or spacetrack.org. There's many places where these NORAD IDs are listed into a catalog. A lot of us guys know these numbers off by heart for a bunch of different assets. So here I'm just going to punch in 42950, and you see it's listed a bunch of TLEs that it's found from 18th space for this satellite in the last 3 days. You select here as your time range. So if you select the first one, it's going to run the GEO neighborhood for us. And before I get down to this analysis, I just want to show you this confirm override primary TLE. So if you have your own TLE that you want to run a GEO neighborhood search for, you can paste it into here and hit run. And that will utilize that TLE for doing the GEO neighborhood search. Here it's using the one that I've selected at the top. You can see here as I select different ones, we get different analysis in the windows below. All right, so let's look at the GEO neighborhood for 42950. We can see right off the bat that Lucha is the closest satellite to 42950 in the next 3 days. It calculates for us the point of closest approach, or POCA, and that is 24.7 kilometers. And the TOCA, time of closest approach, is in 2 days' time. And here's the timestamp. We can see that Lucha is a Russian satellite, and it's currently rank 2 being tracked by the JCO. We see the data source here is 18th space. We provide 2 tables. One is just a horizontal graph bar chart showing the distance to each of the closest satellites, from closest to furthest, and then we show a relative inclination. So we can see here, Luch is definitely the closest and also has a very low relative inclination, so it's plane matched. This little tab down the bottom here that says Space Cockpit, if you click on that and then zoom down, it'll actually load Space Cockpit for you with these satellites in the scene, so you can get a 3D analysis and use all of the tools in Space Cockpit for analyzing this in more detail. So we can see there is Intelsat 37, there is Luch, here is the next closest, Skynet 5C, and you can see it's highly out of plane here. To propagate these satellites out in time, we can see how they move in relation to one another. To close Space Cockpit, just click on this little arrow bar at the top, and that will minimize it and take you back to the GEO neighborhood plot. So how is this operationally useful? Well, you may have a satellite from the catalog that's recently done a maneuver, for example, and you want to know who that satellite is now close to in proximity, and then present that data to others. You might want to share it in an email or some kind of online chat forum. And the GEO neighborhood allows you to just copy and paste this screen here, and out of that, people can get the information that they need on that satellite. An object might have also maneuvered or deployed another satellite. So it's a new object, and you might perform an IOD, initial orbit determination, or an OD, orbit determination on that object. Once you have the TLE, you can paste that into the confirm override TLE box and run the neighborhood check on it as well. So you don't need to only have satellites that are in the public catalog.